The idea of an Italian sports car is an appealing one. Style, charm, speed, clichés beyond all else. For a while, trying to find an affordable new one has been hard because there hasn't really been one. The Alfa 4C came close but was 1, too expensive, and 2, not very good. So the news that Fiat's 124 was making a return was most welcome, an Italian thoroughbred just for us. Except
it isn't an Italian thoroughbred. I mean, bits of it are Italian. The engine, for example, is from an Alfa Romeo hatchback, and the styling is Fiat. But underneath, well, it's pretty much a Mazda MX-5. It'll even be built alongside the Japanese car. Where? In Italy? No, in Japan. So I'm feeling a little less cliche and all lovey-dovey about Italian sports cars in the Italian countryside, and a little bit more confused.
Let's think about other famous Japanese-Italian crossovers, shall we? Yeah, there aren't many, but the Fiat-Mazda thing seems like a good matchup. Let's look at Fiat. It makes small, cheap cars with a terrible reputation for falling to bits and great looks. Mazda, conversely, makes great cars that don't disintegrate in your hands and until recently didn't create the most exciting motors to look at. RX-8 and MX-5 accepted, of course.
This 124 has gotten off to the best start possible. That said, I'm not a huge fan of the looks. I know Fiat's done that whole let's make the new car retro like the old car, as they did with the Fiat 500, but I kind of hope that it grows on me.
Speaking of the original car, the 124 Sport Spider, which began production in the mid-60s, shared much with the 124 Saloon, though it sat on a shorter platform. It was designed by Pininfarina, and well, look at it, it's so pretty. Production lasted until the mid-80s after Pininfarina took it over and called it the Pininfarina Europa Spider. The car that succeeded it, the Fiat Barchetta, may have looked good, but it was front-wheel drive and a 90s Fiat. Take from that what you will.
There's a lot of love for the original 124, especially in Italy, and Fiat hopes that some of that will carry over into the new one. Now, once you get your head around the fact that no, this isn't a thoroughbred Italian sports car, and that actually having it based around one of the best sports cars money can buy is a good thing, well, then you can start to look at it properly.
Its looks, for example, are challenging. You can see where it took its inspiration from, sure, but somewhere along the line, Fiat's designers went to a circus and decided that clown shoe chic was in vogue. Oh dear. The interior, mercifully, is more MX-5 than multiple trapeze, which means that it's a bit tight but works nicely. And because the roof mechanism is the same as the Mazda, you can raise and lower it with ease.
Dimensionally, the 124 is a bit bigger than the MX-5. That said, clown shoes are always quite big. Now on the power front, under there is a 1.4 litre turbocharged petrol from an Alfa Romeo Mito, and it gives you a whole 138 horses to play with. Now that's less than you get from the 2 litre MX-5 and just a little bit more, barely, than you get in the 1.5 litre MX-5. However, on the torque front, you get 177 pound-foot, which is way more than you'll get from a car from Japan. If you're hovering below 2000 RPM, it really struggles. This weighs only a little bit over 1,000 kilos. You'd expect it to kind of carry it and be fine, but really it doesn't. When you're moving, it feels fantastic because you don't have to rev it as hard, you don't have to push it, you just ride its lovely torquey wave. But with modern turbocharged engines, a lot of them, they don't have that kind of turbo lag to them, but this, well, clearly it does. Mercifully, the gearbox is brilliant because it's made by Mazda. You've got a lovely notchy gear shift, the clutch is great, it's short, it's sharp, and it's direct. Now, handling wise, you can play with it, you can really have some fun with it, and you can push it quite hard. It takes quite a bit of effort to make the rear even contemplate stepping out. It has loads and loads of grip. Now on the steering front, Fiat's of course fiddled with it over the Mazda. It's a lot more relaxed, it's not quite as direct, I think, as you get in an MX-5. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it makes for a much more relaxed drive. You still get fantastic feedback through it, but it's just not quite as sharp. It's a little smoother. Same goes for the suspension. The Mazda, you turn in and it does lean quite a bit, but with this it's all about the comfort, or at least that's what Fiat says. They want this to be a sports car you can use day to day, which I thought a Mazda MX-5 was, to be honest.
Since it weighs a little over 1,000 kilos, the 124 will hit 62 from rest in 7.5 seconds, and it'll top 135 miles an hour if you're committed. So it's based on one of the best sports cars on the market. It has less power but more torque, and it looks like a shoe. But this is all about being a fun Italian sports car, one that appeals to both heart and head.
And I know I said I wasn't going to come over all cliche or what have you, but it finally made sense to me. This is, even though it's not, an Italian car. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's light, it's airy. Its engine, you don't need to work it quite as hard, and it doesn't really like to scream. It doesn't sound that good. But when you're driving around town, when you're showing yourself and your new Fiat 124 off, that doesn't matter. The 124 feels happiest, really, going around roads like this. Not super hardcore. You know, you can drive it at 8 tenths and it feels great. You can drive it at 10 tenths and it'll look after you. It'll reward you even. It'll make you feel fantastic. But really, you want 8 tenths, a lovely road, and someone pleasant next to you to share the experience with. I would probably go for the Mazda. I prefer its looks. I like the raughtiness of the 2-litre engine. It's more suited to idiots such as myself. Whereas I can see buyers maybe a little older, maybe who want something that they think looks good, that makes a pleasantish noise and is quite peppy, to travel the country in. A fair play to them. This is based on one of the best sports cars money can buy, and it shines through.
To start with, I was confused about the 124. Could it really be a proper Italian sports car if it was partly Japanese? After all, it's built there, and a lot of the under-the-skin bits are from a Mazda. However, having spent some time with it, the way it looks, controversial that may be, the way it goes and the way it feels, it may be part Japanese, but in reality, it's as Italian as they come.